marvelling at its scale and imagining life on Earth tens of millions of years ago. John Maguire, BBC News, Coventry.
The latest there on Dippy the dinosaur. OK, let's take a look at the weather forecast for you now. Helen Willits is here. Helen, spring is in the air.
Feels like it, doesn't it, Ben? In fact, it's only 8 days now to the end of the meteorological winter. And so you can see the colours of spring, as Ben hinted at, out and about. And it certainly feels like spring out there. But midweek, it gets a little bit chillier once again, and nighttime frost return. At the moment, we're bathed in the Atlantic west or southwesterlies, high pressure, keeping things relatively dry to the south. But this weather front is bathing many areas in a lot of cloud. We've got some rain across central Scotland. To the north of it, it's brighter with some sunshine and some showers, and to the south of it as well, across the Midlands and East Anglia, and that sunshine's punctuating the cloud elsewhere as well. But the rain is with us in the north. It's drizzly with some hill fog in some western areas around the coast, but where we have that sunshine, already 14s and 15s, so we could see 16 in a few spots throughout the rest of the afternoon. Now, overnight, with all that cloud around and the breeze, it is blowing a gale still across the Shetland Isles. It will ease down, but we pick up more cloud as that weather front pushes a bit further north and another one approaches. So all in all, should stay relatively mild, 5 or 6, despite some holes in the cloud. But it does mean that tomorrow, yes, there will be some holes in the cloud, but probably different areas seeing some sunshine. And still, with the cloud quite thick in the west, it could be drizzly with some mist and hill fog around the coast and hills. And this weather front's looming and pushing some heavier rain in later in the day. It looks like a wetter day for the Northern Isles. So temperatures again, 13, 14, where we see those brighter breaks. But in comes our weather front, and it's behind that we get a change in how it feels. Yes, we get that cold northerly or northwesterly coming south, but it's not all chilly because the sunshine is getting stronger, and actually it's going to clear out all this cloud, so it's going to be much brighter for many of us. It may take its time to brighten across East Anglia and the southeast, and yes, it's still February, so still cold enough for some snow on the tops of the mountains, and temperatures, 4 or 5 degrees lower than those of today and tomorrow. So we will notice the chillier feel, more certainly so overnight, as you can see. Perhaps a little winteriness in those showers coming south, but more notably the return of some nighttime frosts as we go towards Thursday morning. But again, as we move into Thursday morning, there may be the odd shower around, but plenty of sunshine around. Then the next weather front starts to approach the northwest later in the day, but just like Wednesday, temperatures are a little lower, closer to the average at this time of year. Then we get that next weather front and low pressure brushing close by to the northeast of Scotland, just pushing that weather front aside for a day or so. But that high pressure system is coming back in for the weekend, but we will pick up more nighttime frost by then. Ben.
Helen, thank you very much. And a reminder of our top story this lunchtime. President Joe Biden makes a surprise visit to Kyiv, nearly 1 year on from the Russian invasion of Ukraine. And that is all from the BBC News at 1, so it's goodbye from me, and on BBC One now, we'll join the BBC's news teams where you are. Have a very good afternoon.
Hello and welcome to South Today. Coming up, looking for Laurel. Police in West Sussex ask drivers to check dashcam footage. Hundreds check in for a free blood test designed to spot the early signs of prostate cancer. And up in smoke, the surprise find by a magnet fisher in a river in Buckinghamshire. Good afternoon, I'm John Cuthill. Police say they're growing increasingly concerned for the welfare of a woman who's gone missing in West Sussex. 62-year-old Laurel Aldridge from Walberton near Arundel was last seen leaving her home on Tuesday morning. Police are now asking drivers to check their dash cams for footage of any sightings. Sean Killick is live from Slindon with the latest. Sean.
Well, John, yes, this is Slindon Cricket Club. It's a mile or so away from Laurel's home at Walberton. She often comes here to walk, and in fact there was a potential sighting of her here around 3:30 last Tuesday afternoon. Well, Laurel herself is undergoing treatment for cancer, chemotherapy treatment. She was due to have a session on the day she disappeared, and there's growing concern for her welfare after 6 nights away from home now. There's been a big search by police and her family, including her brother-in-law, actor Mackenzie Crook.
We've all gathered together. It has been incredible, in fact, to see how selflessly people drop their plans and just gathered. And we've got a big group of friends and family. We're going out searching, flyering, postering, going door to door.
What sort of character is Laurel really in terms of, in terms of spirit, or how strong she is and her love of the countryside?
Well, exactly. She does love the countryside. She loves life, and she's normally a very happy, contented person and a brilliant mother. So yes, this illness has come as a massive blow and a shock to her, and something has switched, we think.
Well, Laurel and her husband run a business together from home. They've lived here for around 2 decades. A short time ago, I spoke to their son, Matthew.
She's a lovely, warm person that loves to laugh, loves to see the light side of things, and that's why this is so out of character for her. We're just really, really desperate to find her. It's been quite a long time now, but we're hopeful that if people check their dash cam footage in the Arran area and check any kind of outbuildings they may have on their land, or even if they're going for a walk, if they just keep an eye out, they might be able to find Laurel. And if you do find her, please call 999, don't wait.
Well, Laurel is described as 1.6 metres tall, around 5'4". She was last seen wearing a turquoise fleece, maroon tartan scarf, brown hat and a grey puffer jacket. John, back to you.
Sean, thank you. Well, meanwhile, police in Oxfordshire searching for a missing man say they found a body in woodland. Officers say although formal identification is yet to take place, they believe it's 26-year-old Charlie Beeston from Chinner. He was reported missing on Saturday. Police say the death is being treated as unexplained but not suspicious. And police in Oxfordshire have arrested a 46-year-old man on suspicion of arson with intent to endanger life. Officers, alongside the fire service, attended an address at Bourton Close in Witney in the early hours of this morning. The G&B union says more than 3,500 ambulance workers are on strike across the south today. Members at South Central, South East Coast and South Western ambulance services, including call handlers, paramedics and emergency care assistants, walked out this morning in their dispute over pay and conditions. Staff say they'll still respond to emergencies.
Our advice is always the same. If you need an ambulance, call 999. An ambulance will be available to you. On every other strike day, actually, they've seen an improvement in service because people are using the service sensibly. But equally, my members who are stood on picket lines are responding to ambulance calls from those picket lines to ensure public safety. They spend more of their time ensuring public safety than this government does.
Well, the Health and Social Care Secretary Steve Buckley says he's keen to keep talking to unions about what is fair and affordable, as well as wider concerns around conditions and workload. Now, over 400 men gathered in Southampton this weekend to get a free blood test to see if they were at risk of prostate cancer. According to the charity Prostate Cancer UK, it's the most common cancer in men. Edward Salt reports.
A blood test that could save a life. Yachtsman Mike Golding was one of those who came to the Salisbury Green Community Centre to get a PSA test. It's a test that can help diagnose prostate problems.
It's a great opportunity for us locally to get the test and be reassured that we're OK.
Thank you for letting me into your home.
I think the story last year was the death of Bill Turnbull, and he did an enormous amount to promote early testing. Bill's story resonated with me.
Absolutely overwhelmed with the response. We've had 416 men book in, and Sonic Lions have fundraised quite a bit of money to try and help with funding this event today.
Last month, the Royal Surrey County Hospital in Guildford carried out a week's worth of prostate cancer operations in one day to mark World Cancer Day. Men between the ages of 50 to 80 are most at risk of prostate cancer.
Prostate cancer is really, really common in blokes. Sometimes you don't even know that you've got it. There's no symptoms, and so I can't emphasise how important it is to have a test.
The prostate is a walnut-sized gland which sits below the bladder. Difficulty peeing or blood in urine or semen can be signs that something is wrong. But early-stage prostate cancer has no symptoms, so those at greater risk need to be proactive at getting checked.
I think there is a reluctance amongst men, but this is bringing it to them. It's bringing it onto the doorstep. They don't have to do anything. They book, they turn up. It's easy for men to do it.
Prostate Cancer UK say 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed in their lifetime. It's hoped blood test events like this one will spot the signs and spot them early. Edward Salt, BBC South Today.
More than 2 million doses of COVID-19 vaccinations have now been delivered in Dorset. Latest figures show around 80% of the population have had primary doses of the vaccine since they started being administered back in December 2020, with more than 300,000 eligible people taking up the most recent seasonal booster. Now, the bomb squad were called to Buckingham at the weekend to deal with a grenade discovered by a magnet fisher. It was found with the pin still in place after being recovered from the Great Ouse River near to Station Road in the town. Thames Valley Police released a video of the grenade being disposed of in a controlled explosion in a nearby field. The grenade is believed to have been in the river since the end of the Second World War. Blimey, they do go with a bang, don't they? Time for the weather. Cloudy, I'll start the Monday.
It was cloudy and overcast across the region. This was the scene at Ealing in Hampshire earlier today. Thanks very much to our weather watcher for that. As we head through the afternoon, I'm hoping that we'll see the cloud break up. We could see some bright spells here and there, and it stays dry. Let's take a look at that on the map then. You'll see that cloud further inland. We're seeing that cloud break up, so some bright spells here, a glimpse of sunshine, and in the best of that, temperatures reaching perhaps 13 or 14 Celsius. And as we head into this evening, that's how it stays, dry and cloudy. In fact, more cloud through the course of the early hours. Under the mild air mass, though, temperatures not falling away too far. We're looking at lows of 6 or 7 Celsius. On to tomorrow morning then, and it's a cloudy start, and the story's much the same. Only tomorrow, the cloud could be a little bit more obstinate, so fewer brighter breaks, I think, and as a consequence, temperatures a degree or so down on today's values. Looking ahead to Wednesday, and something of a change, we'll see a cold front cross the regions. That could bring some bits and pieces of light rain for a time, and behind it some colder air, northwesterly winds on the way, and into Thursday morning we could well see a frost. So let's take a look at the outlook. As I say, it's a cloudy old picture through tomorrow, and then for Wednesday a little bit of light rain for a time. Colder as we head into Thursday, but we should see some good spells of sunshine too. And into Friday, another cold front brings some showery outbreaks. High pressure, though, building into the weekend, so we should at least see something a little bit quieter with some brightness.
Sam, thank you very much indeed. I'm off to try my hand at magnet fishing. Joe Kemp with you, 6:30 for South Today. Enjoy your afternoon. Bye-bye.
You're not the only one finding mealtimes tough. Over 1.1 million of us have read Family Meals for £1 on the BBC. For cost of living tips and advice, go to bbc.co.uk.
The Six Nations continue.